Hi, this is going to be probably quick because it's very late in the day, but I wanted to give you, hold on a second. I wanted to give you an update on today. Today being, I don't remember if it's day 17 or day 18. All I know is I've got 7 more treatments to go, 7 more. Okay. It's starting to be a whirlwind, and I'm starting to get really nervous. Today, I was a little bit nervous to begin with. By the way, let's start with last night. I went to take a look at that house, and I did not get the listing. A lot of it could have to do with the fact that they're not planning to sell the house yet. They said they're going to wait till next year, which could be a good thing for me because it'll give me a chance to recuperate, hopefully, and take it from there. So I think what I need to focus on now is simply doing what I'm doing and then hopefully getting well. So, all right, so it was a very nice house that they thought was worth a lot of money, more than I thought it was worth, but it's a wonderful house, and it's hard to tell in this crazy market that we're in. Told them we're going to have to revisit it at the point at which they're ready. Let's get back to today. So Linda was a little bit late today because she had her own doctor's appointment this morning, and I was waiting for her and starting to get nervous because it's getting tight, the time. She showed up, it was about 10 minutes late, and we went off to the hospital. We got there in plenty of time. Traffic was no problem. I went downstairs because I didn't want to delay in case they called me early. And I sat for a little bit, and then this person came out, and because on one day a week I see the radiation oncologist as well, and today was the day this week. So she said to me, "You're going to see the doctor first." I said, "Well, they're going to be waiting for me." And she said, "No, it's okay. This is the way they did it." And then after they took me into the room, they told me that they were backed up on the radiation schedule again, and that apparently the machine had been down this morning. That's a third time since I'm having this done. So I go to the doctor, the nurse takes a look at me. I lost another pound, and that would be a nice thing under ordinary circumstances. Well, I haven't been eating right. I really haven't, so I'm sure that's what it's about. In any case, I told them what was going on with me. I told them about the drug and that I was a little bit concerned about it, but that I would definitely try, if he could get me to try a lower dose, because the way I feel when I'm coming off that drug is just not worth it to me. It's a horrible feeling. I feel like I'm dying. I feel weak. I feel shaky as can be for hours. I really thought I was going to need an ambulance to take me to the hospital one night, and I said, I can't feel like this. So we're trying. He had said to me, he didn't know there was a lower dose, but I told him I knew there was from you guys because I've heard it here. So he told me that he arranged to get me a lower dose with combined with Tylenol. And I said, okay, I would be happy to try that because it definitely makes a difference with the pain with regard to the treatments themselves. But 7 more, 7. Okay, so I finish with him and I go back and I sit and I see that the waiting area is very, very crowded. Not a good sign. Typically when I go there, there's me and there's the woman who comes after me. So she got there and she said to me, they're backed up about an hour and a half. I said, what? Apparently not only did our machine go down, but then the other machine went down as well. So now that everybody was backed up. So they had patients up the wazoo waiting for treatments, and my treatment should have started at 1. They actually didn't take me into the room till 2:45, which presented a number of problems for me. One was that I had a very early breakfast and I was a little bit nauseous today, And I felt much more nauseous on the empty stomach, and I was afraid I was going to barf on the table. So they gave me a barf bag just in case. So I said, okay. I said, just keep on talking to me. And they got me lined up today. Now, something interesting happened. They got me lined up, and it was a tiny bit off, and they shifted me one more time, which created that problem in my back, where my back is arched, and I know I'm going to be in trouble at that spot and that I can't sustain it. So I am looking at that, and I said, I'm going to be in trouble with this. I can feel it. So there was a different young man there with her today, and he said to me, why don't you get yourself comfortable, and then we'll line you up again and get you perfect. And I did. And it was perfect. It made a huge difference. I don't know why nobody said that to me before. So at that point, they got all their, numbers done, and they left the room, and they did the pictures. The pictures were done quickly, thank you God. And she said to me, everything was lined up perfectly. I didn't have to make any adjustments. We're ready to go. We're ready to start treatment. I said, great. So they started treatment, and at one point she said to me, okay, you've done 2, 5 to go. And then she said to me, 5 down, only 2 more to go. And I'm thinking at that point, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I was very glad I waited, because at one point I was thinking of not waiting anymore because I just couldn't stand it. I needed to get food. So I got out of there. We got onto the parkway at 3:30. Typically it's by 2 o'clock, or before. So it was 3:30. It was crowded, and I asked her if she was exhausted today. She really was. She didn't get enough sleep, and I felt terrible for her. So I said, are you able to take me to get my prescription, or is that going to be a problem? And I said, listen, I don't want to stress you and strain you anymore, because nobody else would do what she's done for me. Nobody would. So she said, no, I'll take you. So we did that, and I got my prescription, and I picked up a bag of chips. I had this craving for chips. I never, ever eat that stuff. I was munching on it. I just had a craving for salt. In addition, and some of you are going to really let me have it for this, but I couldn't help it. This is something I never do either. I got Hostess cupcakes, the kind with the twirly things on top and the thing inside, and I ate one. It's been years since I had anything like that. I hadn't had lunch. By the time I came home, I had cooked chicken that we had bought at the supermarket yesterday, day before, whenever it was. And I had some of that. So I had that with a tomato and cucumber salad. And I actually felt awful afterwards because I had all that crap with it. So probably not too smart. Meanwhile, the phone was ringing all day long from doctors. My cardiologist's office called, and I was like, I wonder what they're calling me about. Well, apparently I need a clearance from him. So now, in addition to the other appointments that they have scheduled for me, they have that. I thought I was going to have a few weeks to myself, to regenerate, to just relax, to get things done in my house. No such luck. Then my surgeon's office tells me that they want to talk to me about a number of appointments they set up for me, and it was like, okay, so what is that? So they tell me that that the surgery that they had told me was going to be on the 16th has now been moved back to the Friday before. Friday on a summer weekend. I don't love the idea of that, to be in a hospital when God knows what staff is going to be there on the weekend. So they want to do the surgery on Friday. Want to guess Friday's date? Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th, they want to do my surgery. oh, I need everything going for me that I possibly can have. My son thinks I'm nuts. And he said to me, I will fight you on that one. And I said, it's like asking for trouble, Friday the 13th. And I said, okay, maybe I should look at it a different way. Maybe Friday the 13th will turn out to be my lucky day. So I try to convince myself of that. I've got the MRI and the CAT scan on the 21st. I have to somewhere fit my cardiologist in, who's in a different direction. I have the 26th, I have an appointment with, I have to do all the pre-surgical testing, and then I'm meeting with both doctors, my surgeon and the plastic surgeon, so that I sign my life away and tell them if they kill me on the table, it's okay. So I have to go into my attorney's office and I have to change my will because I've spoken to him about that. And he called me the other day and he said, Jerry, why are you putting it off? Come on in. And I said, yeah, I really have to do that. And I told him I was going to call him today, but I didn't know I was going to have this 3-hour delay with everything today. So it got really crazy. I still have a little bit more staging to do on the house that I'm doing. Photographer's coming at 9 o'clock in the morning to shoot the pictures. I have to put a lockbox on the house, but I won't do that till later in the day, tomorrow after my radiation treatment. And I actually have begun to learn, when I'm not in horrible pain, to relax into the treatment. And I keep telling myself, if you relax into it and keep your muscles fluid and just relax, that it's going to go better and it's going to go faster and you'll be in much better shape. So the last few times that has worked, so please God, let it stay that way. And that's essentially it. I'm filming when I already have to use the artificial lights. You have the shadows on me all over the place. It's horrific. I look horrific. It is what it is. Take a look at today's makeup. If you can see it, I'm kind of liking the eye makeup. It's with that palette, that little palette that I got from Maureen. And I'm really loving some of the things. That was that ColourPop thing. And I love this color for my base color. And I used the two browns for my transition colors. I went with dark blue for the outside. Number one, because of, excuse me, very, very funny today. My digestion is off. I wanted to go with the blues because of the outfit and because I like the blue on my eyes, so I'm really very happy with it. My lipsticks today are in sort of brownish and pinkish color combination, and I'm kind of liking that too. You might have liked it too if you had seen it in natural light. I actually look pretty good today in natural light. I look less terrific in this light, but that should be my biggest problem, right? So I'm scared to death of the day of surgery. I pray, pray, pray that it goes perfectly, that when I wake up they don't tell me, I'm so sorry, but we had to amputate your leg. I know they're not going to tell me that. But, you know, it's the fear of what's going to happen. In the pit of my stomach, in my gut, in my core, I feel like it's going to go well. Even though the bloody thing is at this point swollen, I do have to use the Eucerin at this point because that groin area is definitely quite red. So I'm going to be significantly, you should pardon the expression, sunburned at the end of this. And I have these little very dark circles, little dots. Those are the hair follicles that apparently you lose the hair. And those spots become very dark. So if anything like that happens to any of you that see this down the road a piece, if you're going through your own radiation in that area, again, normal, nothing to worry about. I am having some of those bowel symptoms that he talked about. I told him about that. They were expected. They did not concern me because they were expected. It's nothing horrible. Poo, poo, poo. None of it is unbearable. I think the plan that he did for my particular plan for the radiation, as the physicist had told me, was a perfect plan, and probably the very best that I could have had for my situation. And he said to me, he said, don't worry, because I said, I'm concerned about the size of it, not if it's swollen. I get that, and I have no problem with it. I just pray it's not growing. He said to me, it really should not be growing. He said, there are parts of the tumor that should be dying every day. There are cells dying every day. And I said, what about my healthy cells? And he said, those should be regenerating every day. They do, to a degree. And the part of it that's not 100% okay should be fine over time. I trust in the process. I love my team. I think I have a great team. I think I have my best chance of having a good result. I just want it to be the best result. I want to be able to look back on this time and say it was god awful. It was something I had to get through, and that because I've gone through it, if you find yourself going through it a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, and if I'm still around, contact me and I will help you get through it. So that's what it's about, folks. Another day, and I was going to get some stuff done at home. That's not happening. Tomorrow I have to be up bright and early to meet the photographer at 9 and get everything else started. So it's all good. And I will hopefully see you tomorrow. I'm praying the machine is up and running tomorrow. We can have a relatively normal day. And as, what was that old Bugs Bunny thing? That's all, folks. See you soon.